I am now 25.
And you pretty recently, like a month ago or something, you turned 20. You turned that, right?
Yeah. Yep, my birthday is Abe Lincoln's birthday.
Whoa, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, he had a
And my
decent
brother's.
beard. That's right.
Does your brother have an awesome beard as well, Anton?
No, he does not.
Because
But
yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I remember John's birthday because he and my brother were born the same day, the same year,
Oh, that's cool.
etc. Kind of crazy.
Yes, indeed. And I guess Abe didn't he have a kind of a cool beard as well?
Oh, you bet he did.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I don't remember the full backstory, but I think his beard helped hide his face a little bit. But it was definitely a manly beard. And I heard he was a wrestler too,
Whoa.
so he's pretty badass as far as presidents go, is my understanding.
Yeah. And maybe you sharing his birthday had some kind of influence on your beard or something like that. I don't know.
I'm sure there's a correlation of some kind.
Yeah.
I won't argue causation yet, but
I heard he dyed it pink. Just what I heard.
Yeah. Maybe that your birthday should be the day of the beard in the Wolfire community, or is that the day when you got your beard pink?
the pink beard happened a little over a year ago when we did the organic indie pre-order pack with awesome guys at Unknown Worlds with Natural Selection 2. And then in the aftermath of dyeing it pink, because we broke 1,000 sales in the week of the promotion, Anton was up here and working at Skywalker Ranch, and he found a way to allow Aubrey and myself to visit, and I still had the pink beard though, so I felt a little bit unprofessional surrounded by all these, super gifted, super professional musicians and composers and sound engineers, and I was marveling at the whole process, and I was there with my pink beard kind of sitting in the corner watching it all go on. But Anton was very nice, and I don't think anybody really had a problem with it, but I felt a little bit awkward.
The cool thing is that you were there with a bunch of musicians, so you didn't have a mohawk, so we were wondering what was going on.
Yeah, I only went halfway. wasn't even close to the maximum threshold.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, sorry.
There's a chat or a question in the IRC, John. They want to know what formal education you and the team have, and was it worthwhile to your progress on the game, basically?
That's a very interesting question. So I think it would be really interesting to hear Jeff's perspective on this. But what I would say, I don't really want to speak on behalf of the team, is that when it comes to game development, it doesn't really matter so much what grades you got or what classes you take. It's more about what you can do. So I think that rule generally applies. Personally, I got an economics degree at Yale right before I started working at Wolfire, and I think it's not really directly relevant. I feel like education is more valuable in terms of teaching you how to learn, how to be organized, how to process information, how to work towards a goal, how to work with other people, etc. I think that's kind of a lot of where the real value is. But in terms of nitty-gritty classwork, I'm not sure that it directly applies. And even for from David's perspective, I believe David went to Swarthmore, and I think he double majored computer science and psychology or something. But it's my understanding that most of the stuff that David knows that applies to game design, he taught himself. So it's nice to know how to think. I think we did a blog post about this, 6 tips for becoming a game developer or something. I think it's mainly that you just have to go out and do it. You shouldn't rely on a class or a course or an education to put you in position to make games. It has to come from within, I think.
Everything. I was
Sorry.
going to say that everything you need to become a game developer is already available on the internet if you just have the determination to seek out that knowledge and acquire it.
Yeah, that seems to be the major key ingredient.
I agree. For not that I'm really part of the team, sort of, but of course for me in music, I also went to school for it, and a lot of what actually got me jobs when I moved to Los Angeles in the film world and television world was my practical experience in relation to what I was doing. So even though I was at school and I was in a place where I was learning technical information, I also worked in a recording studio and did a lot of tech work on computer labs and installing software and how all that works together, and just having that environment where I was able to sort of build things and really kind of experiment with the technology I'd be using before I was required to do it professionally was also a very useful time spent. But you don't have to do that in school. You can just do that. However, practical experience is really important in the music world.
Mm-hmm. And actually, just I thought about something earlier when we were talking about, seeking out the knowledge. David wrote in a blog post somewhere before that when you're taking these college courses or university thingies, you should try to, apply what you're doing to what you want to do. So, for example, if you're like he was making basically Lugaru 2 at the time, which was later scrapped, of course. But he made his own engine, and he applied all the classes and stuff like that, made all the work in his own engine to test it out and stuff like that. So everything that he learned, he applied in practice to what he wanted to do. So that's also something that you can do with these formal educations.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. Games are such a versatile medium that at the end of the day, everything can apply to them, whether it's music or storytelling or psychology or whatever. History could be directly applicable to help you creating the lore for a universe or a plausible world or something. It all can relate if you have the vision to see how it can fit together.
Totally. Okay, so what do you actually what do you do for Wolfire? I mean, I know you do the PR stuff and stuff like that, I've heard. But what do you do in a day? You wake up and then you...
Yeah, so traditionally I was more active on the YouTube channel, but David and Aubrey have done a great job of with the weekly updates, and we've seen a tremendous surge in interest in response to that. So I've taken more kind of a behind-the-scenes role, but I generally do business development, customer service. I help out with bookkeeping and other stuff like that, just kind of the administration operations stuff that's not on the outside. But I'm also I'm the field agent at conferences. You guys have probably seen the talk I did with Aubrey at Fantastic Fest, and just sort of whenever there's a need that's not development, I try to jump in and fill it.
Okay. About the videos, though, will you be doing any more videos? Because I know everyone loved your videos.
I definitely want to. My traditional format was showing off the new features, and I think David and Aubrey are doing a fantastic job at that. But if I have a few ideas cooking for things I might be able to contribute. But I think there's something really special about hearing what's being added to the engine directly from the developer in charge of whatever feature it is himself, So,
yeah.
But yeah, I should be able to get a few silly videos going here and there. And then also, I've started focusing more on Humble Bundle. I think that's probably going to be my take up a lot of my time now, because I think that's something that, well, I guess when you do the analysis, it's probably the most valuable use of my time in terms of helping developers and charity and building this infrastructure that really helps independent developers, I think. So that's kind of what's on my plate at the moment.
Yeah, I agree. About the Humble Indie Bundle, though. So you and Jeff are doing kind of your own thing, I suppose, with the Humble Indie Bundle. And you're going to make a Humble Indie Bundle number 3 at some point, right?
I heard things.
Yes.
I have nothing to report at this time.
Oh, so nothing, no dates, nothing special?
I wish I could give you a juicy tidbit, but my advice would be to check out humblebundle.com and subscribe to the mailing list so that you can be notified right away if anything should happen.
Yeah. Okay, we'll do that, of course. So, about the beard, though.
Oh, God.
Yeah, this is quite important. The beard was a very important part of the whole indie community. At least I think so, and I think the rest of the Wolfire community will agree with me on that. And I even posted a link in the forums to where it was mentioned in podcast 17. I think I talked about that last week. And you've heard that, right? You listened to that part? John?
I'm not sure I remember the portion in question. Can you remind me?
It's I posted a link in the Wolfire forums where Puny Human, the developers, they were talking about your beard and how he loved.
Oh yeah, I heard that clip. That was cool.
Yeah, so I guess that kind of it has to make you understand how important your beard is. It might help you give to get some perspective on the whole situation.
Yeah.
So
I guess it kind of goes back to my role on the team. I thought that it was pretty important early on. I think with other genres, like say an indie music band or something like that, part of the process is kind of putting your own face on what you're doing and letting people get to know you as a character or as a person along the way. And sometimes I feel like independent developers have a tendency to just, shut themselves off in a cave somewhere and work on a game and then walk out one day and, try to say, here's my game world, don't you love me? But really, it seems like it's better to, tell the story along the way and reach out to people a little bit more. And so, yeah, I guess the beard is sort of just one example of that kind of phenomenon. And I've definitely had a lot of fun, chatting with visitors to the site directly, helping customers and people who are just stopping by that are interested and telling them more about what we're doing. So I think that's kind of an important part of the process. And I don't know how to keep track of all the hours that I logged on Meebo and stuff. I've shown the silly posts, but a good chunk of my time has been doing stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. But the real question, though, is about the beard. Will it be coming back, do you think? Do you think the beard will be making a comeback at some point?
Right now, it's about a quarter of an inch. It came back briefly, just this week, actually. I don't think it's going to come back full strength for a while, but it's too bad that I can't stream in an image of myself in an easy way. But it has come back a little bit, and it's dangerous because I kind of like it. My mom hates it, and I feel like when I managed find a girl that I can take out to dinner or something, they don't tend to like beards very much.